You have to. You've clearly never done this. So
what?
you pull it out to your mouth.
I don't know. That's
Right here.
weird.
Yep, there. So
Move away.
yeah, and talk. You just talk normal. It's a microphone.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So why don't I am terrible at introducing people.
Okay.
So
You want me to introduce myself?
a very short your history with Van Duet and who you are.
Okay. My name is Lana McLaughlin. Lana, not Lana. Lana Banana. So you say it right. And we are actually here at Van Duet this week picking up our third van. And I don't know how long we've had one, honestly. Is it 6 years? 5 years?
You'd be in your 5th year? Would that be right?
Three vans in 5 years? That sounds a little crazy.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it's possible.
Yeah.
It's possible. So, so we had, our first van was like you probably know more than I do. Mm-hmm. It was just a regular sized van with a mid roof, and we had it for 3 years. And then I saw a long one with the high roof. I'm like, oh, that's what we got to do. Mm-hmm. And then I saw the move, and I'm like, oh, that's what we got to do. So here we are.
Mm-hmm. And you went from a mid roof Go, which was what it was called then, and then transferred into the Live.
Correct. Yeah,
but you had a mid roof Go, and it was just a good solid build, rear wheel drive. Yeah. Then you went dually, extended length, do model. We call it the hippie van.
We call it the hippie van.
Yeah.
We do.
And so, but maybe the hippie was a little too strong. So now we're
not too strong for me.
Not too strong for you.
For my other half.
Yes. Okay. So, and now we are in the boat of still a long dually or EL. Sorry. So we're still an extended length dually, but now we're the move model cargo version.
Yes.
To be able to open up the space.
And it's toned down hippie.
It's toned down hippie.
Yep. Perfect.
A little more BA.
Yes. Yep. Yes. Oh, yes. I just got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. You have questions?
I do have a couple questions.
I have maybe answers.
These are going to be kind of fun.
Okay.
So this first question is, can you think of, like, what's a memorable story that an owner has told you or an experience that they've told you that kind of sticks with you and you're like, that's pretty cool?
Memorable story. Oh. There's a lot of them. There's a lot of different scenarios. Now, some aren't like super massive. Like they're not like huge, glamorous, but like the meaning behind them is big for like the people that they're involved in. But the one that does come to mind, and I talk about them a lot. So it's Kurt Schuler and Andy Wheeler. And it just boils down to...
I think I know this story.
Yes, and everyone kind of knows it. And that's probably why it always comes to mind. Yep. But you have two guys, one from Michigan, and then Andy's Salt Lake City. And so you have Michigan, Salt Lake City, nowhere close to each other. And the whole story basically boils down to Andy was back in Michigan and was, I believe, riding bikes past this guy. And either Andy started yelling at Kurt or Kurt started yelling at Andy, didn't know each other, did not know each other whatsoever. And long story short, Andy was actually in the market, started to look for a van, and realized and just saw that Kurt had a van in his driveway. So after whatever reason they were yelling at each other, they ended up, Kurt ended up showing Andy his van. They started making connections, realizing, I think it was maybe a significant other, something why Andy was there, friends. And they ended up being, and now are, and you guys are a part of that group too. There's like a group of all you Van Duet owners, but from completely, almost basically different walks of life, different parts of the country. Now they end up together everywhere.
We hang out at least 2 or 3 times a year together.
Yep. And so that's that one there for me. And that's a kind of a constant kind of theme where people are constantly meeting up. And it's probably the memorable part is just the complete strangers coming together over one passionate love. And it's huge. Like, I love that.
Just for the past couple of days we've been here, the people I've met who are picking up their vans or whatever, I'm like, we will see each other again out there on the road. And now I know them. It's
Yeah.
not just a Facebook name. I have a face
Yeah,
to go with it.
that what you just mentioned is probably the thing that I love most is when I walk around the corner. You guys are right here, like in the lounges, and just all the couches are full of people
Yeah.
for whatever reason, services, deliveries, delays, whatever it might be. I just love seeing you guys talking and hearing you guys talk, and it might be actually the coolest part is hearing you guys almost not talk about vans. Like I actually almost enjoy just you guys connecting on life almost more than
I
vans.
made a connection today. I mean, it was a crazy connection, but we both have lost sons in the past few years. And I'm like, who knew a van would bring that together? And we talked about that for an hour today.
Yeah.
So very cool.
Yeah,
Very cool.
Yeah, so that's a memorable one. Sometimes they're really little, but it's just seeing different walks of life. I mean, and just the different walks of life coming together, and then they leave here friends and want to meet up. It's just
Exactly.
you don't get that in a coffee shop. You don't really get that anywhere. It's just it's wild.
It is. I would have never thought a van would create that kind of connection.
Yeah,
Which I don't know that it's the van. It's the whole van do it.
there's community,
Yeah,
the family piece. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. If like money, creating, nothing was any kind of barrier, what futuristic technology would you include in a van?
Flying.
So we could fly the thing. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
Self-generating. So, and what I mean by that is the vehicle can produce its own energy to drive. It can produce its own energy to survive. It can produce the ability of capturing water to be able to drink. Its own habitat, like its own ecosystem in a sense of power and need.
So fully self-sustainable.
100%.
No gasoline, no.
Yep.
That'd
That
be
would
cool.
be it, because I just feel like that's what everyone's chasing after when they say, I want to go off grid. Basically, unless you're going to go in with a backpack and a tent and go out in the wilderness and actually live off the wild. I mean, this is the next kind of thing that I feel like everyone's chasing, and it's just getting that much closer to sustain. Because it's one thing to go out and you're like, hey, I can run for as long as I can run with the fuel tank that I have. But then it's that ability of expanding that with solar, with expansion, with efficiencies, water retention. I mean, disposal, just tying all those pieces together to where it's like, hey, if I actually want to go truly off grid, I can go truly zero connection, but still have the creature comforts of a vehicle/home.
And not think about, okay, when my gas tank runs out or when my water I've brought runs out, I got to head to town or head somewhere.
Yep.
Or my food.
Yep. We built a project that during COVID, whenever we weren't sure about getting chassis and all these different things, we did build a trailer that is fully self-sustaining with power. The next step of that project was going to be water retention, water capturing. So we kind of took care of one problem, and then knew how exactly we would do it in another model to take that project further. But water was the next big one, and then composting is like the third.
Okay.
I'd say if I could really chase it, I would do everything possible to make it to where a vehicle could legit go off grid on its own.
Okay, you already answered my next question, I think, because I said if vans had a superpower, what would it be? You said fly, but like our current vans, like what would their superpowers be?
Fly.
Oh, they can't fly. I didn't say no. There's no restrictions.
When you say current vans have a superpower, I have to add something into them.
No, our vans have a superpower right now. What is it?
Oh, you're asking me what the current superpower is that they have?
Yes, of our current vans. What's our superpower? What's their superpower?
Changing lives.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yep, changing lives.
Yeah, I would 100% agree. Okay, I have one more question.
Okay.
This is a good one. except I might know what you're going to say, but I'm going to ask you for a second one. So if Van Do It had a mascot, maybe it does. I don't know if it's official. What would it be and why?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, say it.
I mean, it has to be a cow.
I knew you were going to say that.
It has to be a cow. Just Midwest. It's what I was like on the last episode. I mean, all I cared about was baseball, cows, and then my wife Lib, and now my kids and Van Do It. But for my whole upbringing, it was baseball and cows.
So the why about the cow was because it was your history,
It's my
it was
life.
your growing up, it was your life.
It's my family life. I mean, it's my I grew
It
up.
was.
I still wish it.
Do
I
you run
still
cows?
wish it was.
Okay.
Just no time. I mean, I'm fully invested
Sure.
in Van Do It. Man, I would love to be on the farm more than I am. I'm basically on there never. My dad, my brother, my family back home, they all still fully work at cattle farm. But no, I just was born and raised in a barn. I mean, I was in and out of them all day. But then we're also in the Midwest where, I mean, Missouri and the cattle, and you can't go anywhere without seeing one. And
That is true.
I mean, it just really is kind of a symbol of what we are, who we are, just all of it.
So I would propose if you ever decide to ditch the cow, which may probably not happen, that maybe it's a mountain goat. And here's why. And I got some names that we can call it too.
Okay.
So because a mountain goat is kind of like the van in their amazing agility to go in the mountains, like climb up things.
Okay.
Their sense of adventure.
Okay.
And here's a couple names that I would propose.
Name the mascot.
Name
goat.
the goat. Who
Name
is
the
the goat of Van Do It?
Okay. All right.
Is Summit.
Summit. Okay. Summit the goat.
Summit the goat.
All right.
Rocky the goat, because he's going to climb up the rocks.
Oh.
Here's one I really like, though, and I think you'll like it. Wonderhoof.
Wonderhoof. Yeah, that's us. That's our style.
The Wonderhoof. No, not the ferret.
What? Not the ferret.
Not the ferret.
Okay.
The Wonderhoof. A van is a Wonderhoof. Wonderhoof.
I do like that.
Is it a hoof? It's a hoof.
It's a hoof.
It's Wonderhoof.
It's a hoof. It's a hoof. But goats might have toes, but we can call it a hoof.
We're going to call it a hoof.
We can call it a hoof.
So, if you're ever looking for a new
Mascot. Okay.
I'm
Goat, greatest all time.
Wonderhoof.
Wonderhoof. The Van Do It. Wonderhoof. The Van Do It. Okay. All right. I can get on board with about anything that's just a little bit out there.
So I was just looking for things that were different. How many podcasts have you, or whatever, are these
Video
podcasts?
series, podcast.
Whatever they are.
We're looking at cameras. There's
So however many of these were done, I think Austin said you were up to 23 or 25.
Is it? 24. Yeah.
24. You've talked about like all the normal things. I'm like, what could we talk about that's not those things?
Yeah.
And I've watched up to 21, I
Yeah.
think. So I got a couple.
But
I've been busy this week.
But what about ferret? What about him?
Have you ever seen a real ferret?
Yes. Every time I go to Petco, I take a
Have you
video
ever
of them.
smelled a real ferret?
I want a
They
ferret.
stink.
I want one. I love them.
They're nasty.
Yeah, they are nasty.
I know. Why do you want
They
one?
need love.
I hope your wife says no.
So me and my sister-in-law, Kaylee, we plan to go in together to get a ferret, and we like trade on and off every other weekend.
Okay.
I don't know where it's going to stay the rest of the days because, it's not going to be at my house. But
maybe Austin will take it.
Austin, will you take ferret?
I
Haley,
already have 2 dogs.
Yeah.
I don't think that.
Haley likes critters.
Yeah.
I
She
think
does.
Brent and Jill should take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Deal.
Brent and Jill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the questions.
Well, you're welcome. Thanks for answering because I think I'm gonna go work on this Wonderhoof the goat.
Wonderhoof the goat.
Yeah.
Got it. We'll do a poll. We'll see Wonderhoof the goat.
Or
Maybe it's just like a pop-in mascot for a little while.
Yeah, for a little bit.
So
Did you ever see my picture of my van with the black cow? Like I was trying to get him on top.
yeah.
Did I show that he wouldn't stand where I wanted him to stand? I'm
Uh-huh.
like, didn't scoot the van up. Okay, the cow's there, and he starts coming down the hill, and so I had to snap a picture. I was trying, but it didn't really work.
Yeah. Anytime we can take it to the farm and we'll get a cow in your van.
No,
Baby calf?
a baby calf. Yeah,
Baby sheep?
I'd take a baby sheep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Baby goats?
Baby anything.
Okay, baby
Except
anything.
ferret.
Careful what you ask for.
Pretty
Except
cute.
Ferret.
They're pretty cute.
I disagree.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Awesome. And now we're done.
I say cut.
It's cut.
Cut.
It's cut.
Cut. Okay.
That's it.
Boom.